Hey everybody, Three Nerds Down. I'm Nate.
I'm James.
And today we have a review for you of Smoke Wagon Malted Rye. So I bet you guys are wondering what the Smoke Wagon's all about. Well, we've had a few of their products before, and today we actually have the new Malted Rye. So this is a 51% rye, 49% malted barley mash bill. We know it's an MGP sourced and about 116 proof. So beyond that, we're getting into this with you guys.
Indeed.
Yeah, so lay your bets on whether you think this is going to be great or not.
Oh, I see what you did there.
I hope you did. So the reason for all the kind of hokey we're maybe doing on this episode of all the gambling is because they're located in Las Vegas, if you don't know that, which makes it pretty cool, to be honest with you. Who is going to get whiskey out of Las Vegas? They are. And we are.
Yeah, for sure. It is an interesting choice based on the climate. Being in Nevada is pretty hot, right?
And I do know they actually take barrels and finish some barrels there too. So I'm kind of like, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think that they do a lot of stuff with MGP, both contract, obviously, distilling, but also contract barreling.
So in this case, it says aged and bottled by the distillery in this case, not MGP. So we do know they've taken it into their stock and they did something. But crack research did not lead me to find anything in particular about how long they had it. So your guess is as good as mine, unless you're better on the internet than I am, which is very possible.
Could be. Could be.
Very much so. So what do we think people should do before we smell this?
I think that you should like, comment, and subscribe. We really appreciate it.
Yes, we do. Thank you so much.
Nate, you ready to get into the nosening?
I am.
Let's get it.
Okay, still getting some ethanol off this. We've had this poured for a little while.
Yeah, it is. Holy spearmint, Batman. Just a lot of it. A lot of it.
I don't think I disagree with you entirely there. I also get mint, just mint, not spearmint necessarily, which is a weird thing to say because I'm pulling apart the alcohol notes in my head and saying that's where the spearmint component of this. I think there's an underlying sweetness from the rye there.
Yeah, for sure. A little bit. I just whistled. Yeah. Like weird. You don't really associate rye, especially when it comes to bourbon and whiskey, with sweetness. You typically associate it with spiciness or mint. You know, of course. In this case, it is a little bit of both, but definitely mint forward. But I'm also getting a little bit of pine, which I think is probably just that oak underneath the mint kind of masquerading as pine, or some sort of very specific.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still not with you 100% on spearmint. That's fine. I mean, I think we can say there's just some differences there. I do get what you're saying in that this might sound weird. This reminds me a little bit more of like a bubblegum mint. Sure. I know I just threw you there because that's such a weird thing to say.
I mean, I think it's spearmint. Spearmint bubblegum,
but not spearmint bubblegum.
No, I that's where I'm going.
Because you like how confusing I am about that.
Yes, right? A little confusing for sure.
So not juicy fruit. We're not going there.
No, I'm still on the spearmint train.
I'm going to double down and say I'm not going huge spearmint here. So we're just going to have to agree to disagree on that one.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Show's over. See you guys.
All right, goodbye.
That is awkward. I'm not picking killer spearmint up on that. I see where you're going with it. I'm getting the mint more pronounced, and then I get a sweetness that I perceive to be a sugary sweetness.
You know what, actually, the more that I'm getting into this, I actually feel like it is almost like if you just added the simple syrup to a mint julep with the mint already in it without the bourbon yet, which sounds weird because this is obviously a whiskey. But yeah, it is actually just crazy. I think this might be the most mint forward rye I've ever smelled in my entire life.
I'm going to agree with you on that. I'm going to double down on that one.
It's insane. If you like mint, fucking buy it.
This one's mint for you.
Shit. Hey, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Oh, man.
Give you a layup there. Give you a layup.
Yeah, nice.
All right, you ready to get into the tasting?
I am.
All right. Yeah. Mint. Yeah. It's not like you're like brushing your teeth mint per se, because it's sweeter than that, obviously.
Finish transitions, like almost at the end of your palate, the finish transitions give you the hug.
Hug for sure.
But it comes back around to some of those more caramel based flavors.
Yep. Yeah, it reminds you that it is in fact
Malted.
Yeah, it's probably the best way to put it. Is it a 100% malted mash bill, which is pretty interesting.
You have the rye, the malted. Yeah, I mean it's wild. I want to take a second sip because in all honesty, it's such an intense rush of somewhat of a rice spice with that mint up front that you kind of almost have to like realize what's happening when it dies and it goes, oh look, I'm still sweet.
The finish is pretty medium, short to medium almost actually.
I'll go medium, but yeah, it's barely medium.
Right.
Maybe a second sip would be different.
Maybe. Wow, this is intense.
Oh, that second sip was super enjoyable.
I actually really like it. I'm not typically a mint kind of guy, but I think this is like such an organic type of mint. Like it tastes so much like actual mint.
That second sip, everything came together closer on my palate.
It definitely is really cohesive, which is interesting because you wouldn't expect these types of flavors to necessarily be cohesive, like caramel and sweetness and mint. Well, I guess you could because mint julep is pretty good.
Almost kind of all that stuff. Hint of licorice, black licorice on the back.
I could see how you could perceive that. I think I'm just getting all mint.
It's really enjoyable. I mean, I don't want to tip my hand here, but I'm absolutely just kind of really happy about this one. I would,
I think honestly we should just get right into how we feel about it
too. I really do. So I'll go first if you like.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be all in on this one. I'm not going to hide it when it comes to purchase, pour, or pass. I'm going purchase on this one. We happen to get this one at retail through our friend Whiskey Straight Up. Derek, thank you so much for offering this to us. You're able to get a hold of a couple bottles. You offered this to us. I'd be remiss if I didn't say that. I don't honestly know if there's a big secondary value here, but at retail, it's 100% buy for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat, and I really didn't think I would be, honestly. It's super unique in the fact that, again, it is the most intense amount of mint I've ever had in a rye in my entire life. And it's not a bad thing, actually. Now, I will preface it, if you don't like mint, stay far away.
It's not meant for you, dog.
And no, that's two, Nate. That's two.
I guess I went to the well once too many there, didn't I?
Yes.
Can't bluff that often.
Got any more?
Not off the top of my head. You got me for once. Yeah.
But no, I would also say at retail this is a purchase because I did enjoy it. I really did. Now, if you're on the fence because you're like, I'm not sure, that sounds kind of crazy. Like, absolutely go get a pour, obviously.
I'm not sure how wide. That's the other factor for me. I'm not sure how widely available these will be for pours.
True. Yeah, I really don't see Smoke Wagon stuff, especially the one-off stuff, available that often in bars for pours. So yeah, your best bet might be to phone in a friend. Hey,
I think so.
You got one of those hanging around?
Friend or a Smoke Wagon?
Either.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
So I was a purchase on this. James was a purchase on this. We've been 3 drinks down, and this has been a review
for you.
For you.
Royal Flush, baby.
You better move out of my way, Pilgrim.